Hello, viewers. Welcome back again to today's session. Last time we were discussing on question number one, and where we highlighted very important information regarding to question one, paper one. We went through all the way from the introduction part of it until we reached at the Bible. In the Bible, we went through so many where we talked about the divisions of the Bible in the Old and the New Testament. In each of them, we gave the examples and the possible questions set in those areas. Again, we answered some common questions that are set in the Bible. Today, we are going to continue with question one. I hope we will rush so that we can finish it and then we can start question two next time. So, we want to start from translating the Bible, translation of the Bible. That's another common area where many times they ask the question for the learners. I think you have seen this one, not only one, but many times explain the translations of the Bible from the original language into the local languages. That question may seem to be so hard, but needs some small ways of answering it, and then from there the student will get all the marks. From the translation, we normally say that the Old Testament originally it was written in Hebrew. That's a mark as student earns when you write like that one there. Again, you go to the New Testament and say it was written in Greek. Imagine writing originally it was written in Hebrew, the Old Testament, the New Testament written in Greek. Already you have scored the 2 marks. Then again, now you go and say that there, the Old Testament was translated from Hebrew to Greek. That's the Old Testament now for you to get that marks there. Then again, later the entire Bible now the entire Bible it was translated into Latin by Jerome. But learners need not to mention the word Jerome because sometimes they can write so many things. You know, the students we have in schools, they may forget that is the KCSE. They may bring their own names there. But the moment they write, it was translated into Latin, then it's okay. And now we know what happened in the 16th century. So during the time of Reformation, that is the 16th century, there was outcry where different people wanted the Bible to be translated into the languages they can understand. So during that time of Reformation, different national languages were coming in, and we say there the Bible was translated into European languages. That's how we have the French, we have the English, we have the German, the Spanish, and so many languages which are spoken across Europe. That's the time there. And again, now remember, after doing all those things, another point is that remember during the time of missionaries coming to Africa, and now they had reached into different areas. The Bible was translated now from that is from the European languages into Kiswahili, like now from English into Kiswahili. That's what happened. So that now the people in Africa can read by themselves. People like Dr. Kraft did that one there. Then later, from Kiswahili, the Bible was translated into local languages, but not all the communities in Kenya have had that opportunity. That's why we say the translation of the Bible is still going on. I know there's some communities in Kenya who have not had that translation even today. So that translation is still ongoing even today. Then Nick, sometimes that's a very good thing. When they set that question, they want to know if the learner have that knowledge that yes, the Bible has been translated. What are the effects? State the effect of translating the Bible into local languages. The Bible was translated into local languages. Number one of the effects is that the translation led into the development of African languages. African languages, development of African languages, number one. Then number two, it led to the spread of the word of God. Now that people are able to read in the language they understand, the word of God was able to spread, or sometimes we say, led into evangelization. That is what continued there. Then again, number three, through the translations, people are able to apply Bible teachings into their life. After reading the Bible, you can apply those teachings into their lives. Then again, it has contributed to literacy. People know how to read and write. Then again, it led to the emergence of African independent churches, schools, African leadership that came in. Then again, it has led to the numerical growth of the church. So those are among the points, the effects, though we have those which are easy again. It gives people an opportunity to analyze the Bible in relation to their culture. Gives people an opportunity to analyze the Bible in relation to their cultures. Then again, it has made African incorporate their culture practice into Christian worship, like using of drums, clapping their hands, even the names they're using. That's true. Then again, it led to the development of the printing presses where they can take the Bible to print so that people can acquire them. So from those printing press, then again led to the creation of employment. So people are working in those areas, and at the end of the day, they're able to get the jobs which they were doing. Uh, then again, we have a question which asks there, give reasons why the Bible was written after the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Why did they write the Bible after the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ? So when he ascended to heaven, that ascension, why did we have the Bible being written? One, they need to write the Bible after the death and ascension of Jesus Christ is that there was need to write orderly account for Jesus. Remember from the time he was young, doing his mission, work, preaching until the end, there was need to write that work in orderly manner. Then again, number two, there was need to combine the text from the Old Testament into the New Testament. That is, what was prophesied in the Old Testament have to happen in the New Testament. So there was need to combine both because you realize we have some documents which on the Old, then the New Testament, but you were to uh, just combine the two. Then again, there was a rapid expansion of the church. As the church was expanding, there was need for this material. There was need to write the Bible so that the people can get the copy of their own. Then again, another reason is to counter the false teaching about Jesus Christ. There were people who were spreading news about Jesus, which was unreal, and this is the reason why it was to be written after the death and ascension to counteract those false teachings which were there. Like I think one of them, there's this story rumors where people were spreading that Jesus Christ had a relationship, he was married, and those so to write those Bible so that we can counteract those false teachings which confused many Christians. Then again, Christians had long waited for the second coming of Jesus Christ. Christians had long waited for the coming of Jesus Christ. And if they had waited for this one there, what was to happen here is that, and it was not forthcoming, they had waited. So they had to write and see what was written in the Old Testament. And like now, the side of eschatology, the study of end times, there to know have they have waited for so long. What are some of the signs for the coming of Jesus Christ? So from the combined text, the Christians were aware what they needed to do so that they cannot continue waiting for long. There are some signs which were given. Then again, the another reason was to combine the Bible after the death and ascension of Jesus Christ is the eyewitnesses of Jesus Christ were being killed. There was reason to preserve that teaching. So the eyewitnesses were being killed. So if they were killed, there was need to preserve those documents and write them in order so that they can get that information. Again, there is availability of writing material. Availability of writing material. And then the last point is they had the Holy Spirit which inspired them. I know if you get a question on that area next time, you can't miss it there. 2016 KCSE number 1C. A question is set. List the fashions of the Bible in Kenya today. I know it's so easy. The fashions, every Bible has a fashion they have used in writing it. One of them is the Revised Standard Version. That is what we use in teaching CRE. We have another version called the Good News Bible, which is another one. Then the Jerusalem Bible is another one. The New International Version is another one we have. The New King James Version is that. The Living Bible, the Gideon International Bible. It's called the Gideon International Bible. That's more a Bible the students normally use when they're at home, they're free reading. That's what's called the Gideon International Bible there. We have the Common Bible, the African Bible, and also we have the New American Bible. So there's, even though I know there are so many versions, but if the student has those seven, there are eight, they're okay. Another question is mention the areas, places where the Bible is used. Mention the areas or places where the Bible is used. Students tend to confuse between areas and these questions which ask their occasions. There's a difference between places or areas where the Bible is used and occasions. Places can be a location. Where do we use it? It's an area where somewhere there. Where are you standing at the ground? Where are you in class? That's a place or an area. Occasions now, like now, which are the occasions when do you teach when your lesson starts? Which occasion do you do CRE when CRE lesson is going? So those are the difference there. Occasion and places is different, but students again tend to forgive. So the question is there, mention the areas or places where the Bible is used in Kenya. One, in the court of law. You have seen people holding the Bible there. That's a place in the courts of law. In schools and colleges, we use it in teaching CRE. It's our textbook. We don't have any other textbook in CRE. The Bible is what you are using there. In state house during state functions. That's true, we use the Bible there. In churches, we don't go to the church without carrying the Bible. During crusades, that is what guides us. At home, for personal use, you can get you having the Bible up cupboard next to the bed there. That when you use it there. In parliament, yes, maybe they have the Bible there when somebody is swearing in. Then in hospitals, you get a Bible placed next to the bed to give you some people encouragement there. Then now we have that one there. But yes, we have the areas where the Bible are used. Have you ever asked yourself a question? Reasons why Christians find it difficult to read the Bible. Why is it so hard for us to read the Bible? One of there is lack of discipline. Some of us we read the Bible when we're in the church or the pastor readings for us. We are not committed. Then another one there is we're being too busy with work is another area there. So being too busy is another one. We're busy doing things, maybe in work, we're doing other chores at home, and then we forget. Then again, there is availability of several entertainments. Like we read the newspaper, we watch the TV, the movies. We don't have the time to read the Bible. Then again, some Christians don't see the need or the importance of reading the Bible. Some people are reading, but what is the reason for reading the Bible? They are frequently, they don't sit down. Then again, it's difficult to understand. Hmm? Understanding the Bible, you can have the parable of the prodigal son, but you don't know what it means. Hmm? The mustard seed, you don't know what it means. So it is difficult to understand. Then again, some churches don't provide guidelines. Though I say, let me tell you, like yesterday, they have the lessons they read from Monday to Sunday. Like, yes, from Saturday to Saturday. They have every day, they have something to read. And other churches may be provided, but some churches, they don't give those um, small booklets to guide the people or the followers on what to read. Then again, some people believe it's only the pastors and the church leaders who are only supposed to read the Bible. Like Pastor Jasoma now saw me. So some people tend to think that it's only the pastors and the church leaders who have the potential or the capability of reading the Bible, not them. Some people are semi-literate. They cannot read. Not their problem there. Then again, some people don't have the scriptures in the language they understand. If you don't have the Bible in the scriptures you understand, there is no way you can read the Bible. And again, there's another point they give there, maybe because of poverty. Do you read what you don't have? You don't. So if you don't have the money, you can't read the Bible. So poverty is another reason there. Then another question is state ways in which the Bible is misused. Do we use the Bible in the right way? No, we are misusing that. Why? Number one, ways in which the Bible is misused in Kenya. Number one is that it is used to take oath in courts or in offices by the people who may not be believers, used taking oath by the people who may not be believers. We're using the Bible in the wrong way. Then again, used in cults to mislead the people. Ukienda kwa mganga unaiona hapo kando ndio wanatumia, and you see it's the work of God when it's not the work of God there. Then again, some people are using it to enrich themselves. It's a tool of trade. So mtu anasemanga kwa Biblia, anasema, and the Bible says, blessed are the cheerful givers for they shall receive abundantly. Ukisikia tu hivyo na unaenda unapeana yako yote, hiyo ni uongo. It's not a tool of trade. So that's the misuse of the Bible there. Then again, some new versions translated have lost the original meaning of the Bible. Kuna some things which has been not been incorporated, so it's losing the original meaning of the Bible. Some of them they keep the Bible for display. Unaenda kwa nyumba kwa mtu, napata hapo kwa kabodi yake juu amekelea Holy Bible kubwa na asomi display. Hiyo ni misuse of the Bible. Do you open to read that one? They don't. So that is misusing the Bible. Then again, others use it to administer curses or threaten others. Curses are those who don't. If you don't give money, then the curse using it there. Mtu anakulani na Biblia. That's the wrong usage of it. Then there is distortion of the Bible. Some people are using it in the wrong way. Then again, some of them are reading the Bible like the ordinary textbook, where you open that book like this, and then you read just like ordinary textbook. Bible is not an ordinary. When you are in some situations, book of Job, Jeremiah, this sovereign Jesus Christ, you know where to read. You can't read it there like a textbook. That is the wrong usage of it. I think those are the misuse of the Bible that we have in the Christians today. Then again, state the occasions when Christians, now the occasions when talk about the places. The occasions in Ghana, when you're preaching the word of God, that's an occasion. Unatumia Biblia. When in court, of course, in swearing, we use the Bible. When instructing new converts, we use the Bible. During different Christian religious ceremonies. Sasa hapa ceremony ni mingi, marriage, wedding, hizo zote zinaenda mpaka kwa mwisho, funeral, any ceremony there. Now it's covered. Don't bring wedding uandike kando, then kidogo kuja uandike in funeral. No, that one is a repetition. We talk about Christian religious ceremonies or a festival. Any festival happening there, then that point falls there. When teaching CRE, we use the Bible, it's an occasion. When composing songs, ile tunaimbanga, we use the Bible. During fellowship, prayers, guidance and counseling, we use the Bible. During swearing in, we use the Bible. Swearing in is an occasion. So we use that one there. I know somebody may be asking that when in court, of course, that there is swearing that I'll be saying, hiyo ni tofauti. Na ingine ya kuswear, we want to swear in the leaders. It's just like now after winning the election, our MPs must be sworn in. We have to use it in parliament. But ile ya court unajua ni ile unasema mimi nitasema ukweli. So that one is a different thing from the one in court. Which are the ways in which God reveals himself in the people in the Old Testament? List 6 ways God revealed himself to people in the Old Testament. Mungu alionekania aje watu in the Old Testament? 1, through creation. Tulimwona Mungu aliumba. 2, through visions. That is another way. Through the angels, through personal experience. Wewe mwenyewe you can experience God. Through the prophets, God reveals himself through the prophets. Through scriptures, through dialogue, you can see having a conversation like the time of Moses, the time of Jeremiah, that is there. Through the divine inspiration, through historical events, and then through forces of nature. Nature is something that if God is able to bring the drought, that's what is communicating to you something there. So that one is happening when you see that one there. Then again, now we come to the last part of question 1, which is creation and the fall of humankind. Describe the first account of creation. I know that one the learners need to read the book of Genesis from chapter 1 to chapter 2, chapter 1 all the way to chapter 2, verse 3. That's why you get describing the first account of creation. You start in the beginning, God created heaven, until you go to the last one, where on the 7th day he rested. Then we have the second account of creation. That one I may not read with you. Describe the second account of creation. Of course, the 2 stories of creation have not been set, but we don't see what, with the current trend of setting CRE, you get people or the neck setting questions of areas which has not been tested. It can be a surprise question there. So need to read about that one again. Then you need to look at the explain the meaning of biblical of creation. Meaning, wakati ilikuja 2017 watu walikimbia, I don't know, 2017 2018 people ran away. That question was not well performed. Explain the meaning of biblical accounts of creation. 1, God worked as a spirit. That's a meaning 1. Meaning 2, God created the universe and universe all alone. Hakuwa na mtu mwingine. That's a teaching. He created by the using of word of mouth. Led there, and it was. Then he created human beings in his own image and likeness. It's a teaching. There is nothing. It's a teaching. It's ile vitu vilifanyika. Then again, God put man in charge of his creation. Asimamie kila kitu. Then again, after every creation, God is emphasizing on the goodness of creation. And he saw it was good. Then God gave people or human beings understanding. Then the dignity of a woman is emphasized because a woman is portrayed as a companion. Msaidizi. Then again, God is depicted as a God of order. Day 1, day 2, day 3, you can see the order. Then again, he created the earth with a plan. That's true. Like now we talk about he created light first to be used by human beings. Ndiye alianzanga na light ndio watumie. Then again, he set aside the 7th day to rest. That's why sometimes we rest on the 7th day when we go to worship God. Can be on your Sunday, can be on Saturday there. We have the comparisons between the 2 accounts of creation. When you see the question comparison, it means you can give the idea, maybe the similarities or the differences on the other side. We start with the similarities between the first and the second account of creation. Number 1, we say, in both, God is portrayed as the only sole creator. Make sure in both. If it misses, you are done. Because we are comparing 2 things. In both, It should be coming number one. And don't let that one in both number one, then you start in both huko juu unakaandika, then you start in 1, 2, 3, 4. No, don't get tired. This is your life. You need all those 7 marks. Make sure you start the word. Anytime you see similarities in both. In both, man is portrayed as special creature. You see that he was created in the image and the likeness of God. That's point number 2. Then 3, in both, it outlines the creation of living and non-living things. In both, God created the living and the non-living things. Then 4, in both, man shares in life with God. In both. Then again, in both cases, the earth was empty and formless. That's both first and second account of creation. In both stories, God existed before creation. God was not created, but He was there. Then, number 8, in both, mankind is created into full sexuality. That is male and female. We have woman on this side, we have a man on this side there. So we can say in both cases, that is what is happening. Then, part 2, they can say explain 4 differences between the first and the second account of creation. Your differences, you have to bring it ionekane. The creation of the firmament, the sun and the moon, the fish and the stars, it's only mentioned in the first account of creation, whereas it's not mentioned in the second account of creation. Hiyo tunaona hivyo. Number 2, the planting of the Garden of Eden and the making of the river is only mentioned in the second story. Garden of Eden is only mentioned in the second account of creation, but not mentioned in the first account of creation. Then the first account of creation, God created out of nothing, but in the second account of creation, it's out of substance. That's now the creation of man. You can see molded. That's a substance which is used there. In the first account of creation, God took place 6 days and he rested on the seventh day. But in the second account of creation, we don't see that order coming. There is no mention of duration, and the Sabbath day is not even mentioned. So that duration is not mentioned, which we see in the first account of creation. The first account is God-centered. We can see that one there. Whereas in the second account of creation is man-centered. That's why we see that after creating, a man takes over. And first account of creation, marriage is meant for procreation. In the second account of creation, marriage is meant for companionship. Then again, in the first account, man was created last, but in the second account of creation, man comes first. Hizo ni zile rahisi wanafunzi wanafaa kuanza nazo. Then another difference there, in the second story, there is the mention of the forbidden tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is not mentioned in the first account of creation. That one we can agree, we don't see it mentioned there. In the first account, God affirms the goodness. You can see everything God created is good now, but it's lacking in the second account of creation. So those are the differences between the first and the second account of story there. Then again, we have the attributes of God. Mention 7 attributes of God from the biblical creation accounts, Genesis 1 and 2. Hiyo ni akaunti ya kwanza na ya pili. God amecreate. Ni quality gani ya Mungu naona hapo inatokelezea? 1 is the only God. God is the only God. God is moral. He is concerned with human behavior. He is a moral God. Then again, he is a soul creator. He created out of nothing. He is a soul creator. He is a God of order. Number 3. Then he is good. After creation, you could see God standing there. The goodness is emphasized there. Then he is a personal God. He is all powerful or omnipotent. He created by the word of mouth. That's why we say he's all powerful. Unasema na inakuwa. Then again we can say there, he is a spirit. That's why we say it was hovering in the water. So God is a spirit. Omnipresent. He was spiritually present everywhere. God is self-existent. He was there from the beginning until the end. He is the source of life. That's our God there. God is all knowing or omniscient. Then God is immortal. He cannot die or eternal. God is immortal or eternal. God is a worker. He worked from day 1 to day 6 and he rested on the seventh day. We say God is a worker. God is holy. Look at the seventh day. He rested. So is holy God there. Then again, he deserves honor. Why do we say that on there? It deserves respect from human beings. Then again, God is the author of human sexuality, that is male and female. I think attributes kuja last year, and if it comes again, make justice by scoring all those 7 marks. Then another question, responsibilities given to human beings at creation. Which are the responsibilities God gave? One, to procreate or multiply. It's a responsibility. Number 2, to cultivate the land and guard it. Number 3, to name the living creatures. We see that one in the second account of creation. To eat from all the plants. Then, not to eat, number 5, not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You number 4 tumesema to eat from the plants. Number 5 ndakaambiwa, please don't eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. To rule or to be in charge or have dominion. That's number 6. To care for the environment. Number 7. Then the last one, to obey God. These are responsibilities. If you raise like that one there, how do you miss that A of yours? Then again, we go to the lessons learned about work from Genesis stories. You see work. Any lessons learned about work from Genesis stories of creation? Work was ordained by God. Ni alianzisha. Work is good, number 2. That's true. Work is to be enjoyed, number 3. You do work while enjoying that. Then number 4, work should be done in orderly manner. Hata mwanafunzi, everything in order. Siti unasoma kidogo, unarusha, unaweka ingine hapa, unataka kuanza ingine hapana, let that be order. That's why we have the timetable there. Then through work, human beings are to continue with God's work of creation. Through work, human beings are able to continue with God's work of creation. Number 6 is work bears good fruits. You can't work and go home empty-handed. Every work you do, there is something you get at the end of it there. Then work is necessary. Number 7, work is necessary activity because it enables one to earn a living. Work is a duty. As human beings were commanded to work, then human beings should be committed. Human beings should be committed to work. And the last one, rest is important after work. That's what you call it sometimes, leisure. After working for those days, you need to go and rest. 2023, 1C. Ways in which Christians continue with God's work of creation. What does these Christians are doing to continue with work, God's work of creation? 1 is through procreation. Number 2, by planting trees, crops, afforestation. Hiyo inakuwa ni point moja. So mwingine andika kwa planting, mwingine anakuja hapa andike crops, mwingine andika afforestation. That's the same thing there. Planting trees or crops or afforestation. Through generation of electricity. Number 3, it's a point. By helping the needy, a point of its own. Through provision of medical care. That means you are continuing with God's work of creation. Through advancement of science and technology. Things like transplant, hiyo ni technology. Kuwekea mtu macho ni technology. Kufanya mtu operation, hiyo ni technology. Through discovery and space exploration. Watu wanaenda kwa moon to discover new planets. Hiyo ni continuation of God's plan of creation. Through provision of education and training. Ukifundishwa kuna kitu unapata, unapeana mwingine, then you are living. That one is their continuation. Then establishing income generating projects in rural areas. Kianzisha huko zero grazing, chama cha kina mama huko, there is something they are gaining of it. Cleaning the environment. Another point is through building and construction, watu wakae kwa nyumba. Then through growth and development of industries, people to work there. then conserving and managing wildlife. Those are the ways in which human beings continue with God's work of creation. Then the last one for today outline ways in which human beings have interfered with God's work of creation. How human beings have interfered with God's work of creation. One, cutting down trees to interfere in the environment. Number two, over cultivating or overgrazing. That one we're interfering. Polluting land, number three. Practicing of euthanasia is another way. Use of mass destruction weapons like atomic bomb, uko na bunduki, that is wrong. Then pervasive sexual behavior. Pervasive sexual behavior, it undermines God's purpose of sex. That is wrong. Then using of contraceptives, God said procreation to continue. That's another wrong thing. We should multiply. Then drug and substance abuse. I think with that one, question number one, the learners are well equipped. Teachers, I think, have expounded those areas, questions and answers. In the case of any question, don't forget to write in the comment section. I'll answer those questions. And for you to get the videos as they come out, please subscribe so that you can know when I've posted a new one. When we meet next, we will tackle question number two. What is expected number two, paper one? We want to go slowly until we get 100%. Before the learners reaches the time to do KCC, they could have scored everything there. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, ask any question. I'll answer it. Where you don't understand, ask it in the comment section. I will do that one there. Have a blessed day. God bless you. Mungu abariki. Mwendelee kusoma zaidi na kufungua akili. CRE mtapita ana assured A. Have a nice day.